I'm Manny.
I'm Noah. This is Devin.
And this is No Such Thing, the show where we settle our dumb arguments and yours by actually doing the research. Today's episode is another mailbag episode. We're going to be talking about eggs, sneezes, medicine, the 24-hour day, and whether grape or strawberry is the traditional jelly in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
There's no such thing. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing.
All right, we're starting with a question from Fran, who is based in London. She says, just had a somewhat heated debate last night with my flatmates about whether eggs should be kept in our fridge or not. Our fridge is small, and we only have one shelf each, so all three of us having our own carton of eggs takes up a lot of space. I personally have always grown up with my family keeping eggs in the fridge, but one of my flatmates keeps hers out on the counter and said we should too. Do they last longer if kept in the fridge, or does it remove any nutritional value? So, before we get into Fran, what do you guys do with regard to eggs?
Oh, you gotta put your eggs
Put
in
them
the
in
fridge.
the fridge, yeah.
What the hell?
I think I put a lot of stuff in the fridge that maybe doesn't necessarily need to be in the fridge.
But eggs need
Just
to,
out of
that'd be like
safety.
leaving your milk out here.
Yeah, I do think there's a
Yeah.
US-UK divide, perhaps.
In my head, it's just like, yep, it's going to make it last a little bit longer
Yeah.
because it's colder in there.
What do you leave out of the fridge that could be refrigerated, do you think?
I don't put like potatoes or stuff like that in the fridge.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
Yeah,
a
me
big no ketchup in the fridge guy.
Ever?
Now that's
No,
surprising.
I don't like my ketchup cold. I want my ketchup.
So
the
you just have
temperature
open
of-
ketchup?
Huh?
You just have open ketchup in your cabinet?
It's not. Yeah, it's opened as in I used it before and then I
But
closed it
yeah.
back.
Yeah, it's open, though.
Yeah.
It's not sealed. That's what I mean.
It's
It's open. It's unsealed.
It doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Does it say that?
Yes. Because look, we're getting confused here between there's things that need to be refrigerated and there's
Yeah.
things that they
That's what we're
recommend.
talking. That's what we're discussing.
There's things that they recommend you
Yeah.
should refrigerate.
Yeah.
Ketchup is one of those things that they're like, actually, it'll be better if you refrigerate it.
Like,
But you don't
it'll
need to
last longer.
refrigerate.
Yeah. Well, how
ketchup.
quickly are you going through ketchup?
Yeah.
I got a big one from Costco, so it takes me a while. So I'm only really using it on like if I make burgers or something like that or hot dogs.
So it will last a long while.
I've had that ketchup. Look, this is not the first time in my life that I've done it. I actually just opened a new huge thing of it.
Mhm.
So
But by the time you're getting to the bottom, you don't notice anything.
no, that's what I'm saying. I've been
Interesting.
through this in my life.
Cool.
Okay, I'm living that life.
All
I'm
right.
not just recommending it and not doing it.
I've
Yeah, I
got
should open that.
bread in the fridge, all vegetables, including potato, butter.
In the fridge, you put your potatoes in the fridge?
Yeah,
Potatoes
I
in the
don't get them
fridge.
that often, but
Nah,
I
bro.
throw them in there.
I've never done that.
No, don't put them in the fridge.
Yeah,
Keep them
I
out.
don't know shit.
I try to keep most produce. Well, it depends on the produce. I mean, but like if it's not cut at all, I'm trying to keep it fresh outside, especially if I'm
Yeah,
going to be using
peppers
it.
and
you
stuff
know?
like that.
Yeah.
Once you cut it, then I put it in.
Yeah,
Onions.
once it's cut, onions
What
is a
about
great
butter
example.
for you guys?
See, butter is interesting because I always grew up butter in the fridge.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I got one of those Butterbell devices.
Yeah.
What's
You know
that?
this? It's like a little.
Device. It's got like a
It's
cover.
a little, yeah, it's like a little contraption. You put water in the bottom, and then you put butter in kind of the top.
Oh, this is
So
a
then
device.
you store it so it keeps the butter nice and fresh and soft.
What does the water have to do?
It like helps seal it once it's in there.
Oh,
basically.
okay. Like creates a seal.
So if you're having butter like every day and you're going to actually go through it, it's pretty good because it doesn't go bad unless it's like sitting for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's
It's good because it's nice to have really soft butter.
Well, I
Yes.
guess I don't have a lot of bread with butter. So I'm only using butter when I'm cooking.
Yeah,
like
so
I put it for
it's
my
not-
eggs and
not
stuff,
really
so it
worth it
doesn't
then.
really matter.
But to circle back,
No, I got another 15 minutes on this.
all three of us put our eggs in the fridge.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I don't know the specifics of it,
Yeah, what
but
do you
I
think?
know there's a difference between our eggs and UK eggs for some reason. Like we can't have our eggs outside because it'll go bad or something, or we can get, I don't know, salmonella or something. Whereas some way that they process their eggs in the UK that it's okay to keep your eggs on the shelf. That's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the specifics of it are though.
Well, just so happens that I do.
Yeah, do you?
Because my wife, Mia, is an executive editor at Business Insider overseeing health and science.
Why else is she
And
specifically
she's
qualified?
also she's British, so she also knows about this.
Wow.
More importantly, she's British.
She's a British girl.
She's a health.
Okay, so the question of whether or not you need to refrigerate your eggs really depends on where you are. So if you're in the US, then yes, you do have to refrigerate your eggs and you don't have an option. And that's because commercially sold eggs in the US are washed and refrigerated before they're packaged. And that is to get rid of any kind of bacteria or dirt that could be dangerous, such as salmonella, which is a good thing. But the problem with that process is that it removes the protective outer layer called the cuticle. So when those eggs are shipped and once they make their way to you, you need to keep those eggs in the fridge because they no longer have the protective layer that would defend the egg from bacteria in your kitchen. Something like salmonella thrives in warmth. So if your eggs are on the kitchen counter, salmonella can permeate the shell and get into the egg if your egg is made in the US. It's different if you're in Europe, because in Europe, they don't wash and refrigerate the eggs in processing because their goal is to retain the protective outer layer. In Europe and in the UK, their priority is to package and ship and consume the eggs locally. So you're having them very fresh and they're retaining that protective outer layer. So there isn't time or opportunity for salmonella to permeate the egg. And that's why in Europe, the best buy dates are also shorter. So you usually on the package, it will say that you have less than a month to eat the egg. Whereas in the US, much bigger country, they're transporting these eggs much further. That's the benefit of refrigerating them, and that's why you usually have like 6 weeks, 8 weeks to eat those eggs. So TLDR, if you're in the US, you have no option, you need to keep them in the fridge. In Europe, it's up to you. You can keep them in the fridge to preserve freshness, but they're perfectly safe outside the fridge as well.
That made sense and
Yep.
tracks with basically what you were saying. I didn't realize exactly what it was. I didn't realize it was
No, I didn't
literally
either.
just what was on the outside of the
Yeah.
shell. I assumed it was something more like biological almost.
Yeah, I
with
thought it
like
was like
how
how
the
we
chickens
treat
are
our chickens.
raised. and
Yeah.
that.
Yes, it's
so
so
this is actually
funny.
much more simple.
Yeah.
It's funny how many times washing something is actually kind of bad in a way, like the chicken
Yeah.
debate that we've had that people are still mad at us about.
Yeah, washing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The chicken itself, the raw chicken.
I'm not
Kind of
saying
spreads
anything
the
about this
bacteria
anymore.
around. And with the eggs, washing it and refrigerating it kind of removes like a natural layer
protective
of
layer.
protection that it has.
And I believe the questioner lives in London but grew up in the U.S.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's why.
That's why they're
That's why
confused.
there's confusion, and
Yes.
they're arguing with their flatmates, as they say.
Not roommates.
Because I was thinking about this because I was like, I don't know, I definitely have seen people keep their eggs like, you know, upstate or something, and they buy them from the farm next door, and it's like, oh, well, they're not. Now it makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
they're not doing this industrialized process of washing them. It's
That's
like,
a good point.
you just go pick it up from the farm and you can keep it out. Because I knew or people who have chickens and that sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
like they're not
They're not
keeping
put-
them in the fridge,
Well, look-
and they're eating them that day probably too.
The chickens aren't putting their stuff in the fridge.
Great point.
You know, nobody
They're keeping
talks
them.
about
They're
that.
keeping them warm. If anything.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
They're
I'm
laying
just
them. They don't got a
imagining-
mini fridge in there.
We stayed upstate
Yeah.
once, and there was like a chicken coop in the backyard, and the owners were like, "Feel free to go back there and pick up any eggs
That's
for cooking." So we
nice.
did, and no, actually we didn't. We were about to, and then we got an email later being like, "Oh, wait a second, these are the fertilized ones."
Oh,
Oh,
And I was like,
that would have been horrible.
I would have
Damn.
been traumatized if I cracked
Yeah.
that shit onto
onto the damn chicken. Little chicken.
wow.
And, well, they wouldn't have been born.
I
It
know.
would have been
It'd been
a
a
fetus.
debate.
Yeah.
It's a debate.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get into that next
We'll
week.
do the personage debate of.
It was just a clump of cells.
Sure.
I remember during COVID, I don't know if this was like a national thing, but certainly in our friend group, we just started eating a shit ton of eggs because they were just easy to make. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't really cooking all that much until
Versatile.
everything shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So I was eating a ton of eggs, and then there was like a lot of discourse on Twitter at the time about how that's
How many
actually
eggs you
bad
should
for
eat.
you. You shouldn't be eating that many eggs.
There's worse things. I could be
on.
shooting up heroin.
Yeah.
like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, it's like you're not
just
gonna die
it's just like,
because you
come on,
ate too
yeah.
many eggs.
Oh yeah, he just ate too many eggs.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Unless you're doing, it's like with
Don't tread
anything.
on me.
If you're eating 10 eggs a day,
Yeah.
sure.
Just like anything.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next up, we're staying on the expiration dates
Okay.
theme. This is from Steph. I'm quoting now. This is in Steph's voice. Okay, so you know how you buy medicine, Tylenol, prescriptions, NyQuil, whatever, and there's a date for when it expires? Why does it expire? Like, I get that cheese goes bad, milk spoils, vegetables rot. But what is the actual reason why pills or medicine go bad?
That's a great question,
Thoughts
actually.
on this?
I don't know if they go bad. I think they just become less potent, right?
That's my thought, and I always think about this when I go visit my family.
Oh, yeah.
There's like the kids' bathroom.
Yeah.
And you open the closet in there, and it's like kids. First of all, there's no children living there anymore, so it's like kids Advil or kids Tylenol.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know that
y'all were
shit is
there.
And
15
it's
years
from
old.
literally. It's from before I was born. It's from like even before my brother was born, I think. Like literally stuff from the 80s.
That's incredible.
And it's probably, if you open it up, it's probably just like dust.
Yeah.
Or like, not even. But then there have been times when I'm looking for something and it'll be more recent, but then I'll look and it's like expired 2016. And I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it creeps up on you.
Yeah, I
passage
don't
of
know.
time.
I mean, I agree with Devin. It won't be that it goes bad in the sense that if you consume it, you'll get sick.
Yeah.
I've definitely run into this because I'm a Gas X connoisseur of sorts.
Power user.
I love using it. I think it's probably placebo, but it makes me feel better. And they will have expiration dates, and I don't know. Like I'll have one after the expiration date, and I'll be like, oh, that one didn't do as much as it used
Oh,
to.
so you
Yeah,
feel like you noticed
how
it.
How
Yeah.
long do you think that, like, typically, is it like a year? Is it?
yeah, it's really
less?
long because
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll be just digging through, trying to find something.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
the one that I found was like over a year old.
Did you take your normal dosage of it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So you didn't like double up.
You should have
'cause you're
doubled
like,
it
all
up.
One caveat though, Gas X. I hope they're listening to this.
Our-
Why
our
is
newest
one of
sponsor.
the boxes called maximum strength,
Mm-hmm.
and the stronger one is called ultimate strength?
Mm.
Actually, we already passed maximum.
Wow.
So I
This
don't
is
know
like-
what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
like
that's
Don Draper
confusing.
cooked that up. He's like,
Yeah,
hold on.
I don't know. Add another
Something beyond
adjective.
maximum.
So it could be possible that I took the same dosage, which was 2 pills,
But
but,
it was
that
a-
it was maximum and not ultimate. I don't know.
Mm.
What do you,
Anyways,
so yeah, I mean, what do you go for in the store? Like if we were going right
I
now.
try to
then-
get, now that I know ultimate is the
going
strongest
for
one,
that.
I go for ultimate. Sometimes they don't have it. I don't know
Yeah.
why. But also it's just
Sold
a
out.
matter
It's
of
too
the
good.
dosage. Like
Yeah.
I think 2 or like 3 maximums is 2 ultimates, or if you do the math. So anyway,
It's boy math.
we'll include
Boy
a chart in
math.
the newsletter. All that to say, I've dealt with medicine expiration dates before, and I would like to know the answer.
You know, this reminds me of. I recently, for the first time ever, saw Wolf of Wall Street. Well, I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
And they have that scene where they're taking.
Quaaludes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they're
yes.
old.
Yeah, 'cause they're
Yes.
all made in the 80s. I think
Yeah,
they
and they stop
product-
selling whatever
Yeah.
one, and they take a bunch of them, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not working, and take more, and then they find out that like
Classic
actually it just
problem.
has a longer release time
Because they're older. Oh,
and then
that
they
could be
get
it. Longer release.
extra high.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if that's the same with pills. I'm not in
Yeah.
the issue too. I have this issue with pills because I'm not a real pill popper.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm getting some pills,
Yeah.
I gotta get kind of fucked up to take like even like an Advil.
I'm
Well,
the
like
same
it's-
way.
you can't swallow it.
No, I can swallow.
You just
I
don't
just
want
choose
to
not
do it. Yeah,
to.
he's
Oh, you
Maha,
just don't
yeah.
want to. Okay.
I don't really get headaches.
Mm.
You know, so if I get a little aching pain, I'll just sort of
The
ride it
eggs
out.
are taking care of you.
Plus,
when
you
I-
don't get hangovers because
No, I don't
Exactly,
drink.
yeah.
Right, so it's like when I'm
Ibuprofen.
taking, I may be taking an Advil twice a year, if that.
Wow.
Wow.
But I buy, you know, when you buy them, you got to buy the big one because it's the best for your
Yes.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
exactly.
So I'm getting 100 pills.
They're like
Yeah.
2 years old now.
Yeah, I'm taking 4 a year.
It's lasting as long as your ketchup.
So this is a good question of like sort of what is happening. I guess I feel like with all things, it's like it just loses its potency. I don't know what would be happening though, like chemically.
Why?
Yeah, is it the case that 20
like
years
releasing?
after it actually does literally nothing to you after you take it?
Well, luckily the good people at Harvard
Oh,
Harvard Medical School, to be exact.
Okay.
Those are the people you'd want to talk to there.
That was a good
about
clarification.
this. Have looked into this. So in 1985, the U.S. Air Force conducted a study where they gathered a stockpile of medications because they, countries do have those stockpiles for certain things, for emergencies or obviously for military, etc. So they gathered a stockpile of medications worth more than $1 billion that were close to or past their expiration dates. They didn't want to just throw them away, so they did studies. They tested to see if they're still safe and effective.
Okay.
This is the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, in other words.
I've heard of
As
them.
some call them. And the verdict, according to Harvard retelling this, most medications were still good nearly 3 years past their expiration dates.
That's nuts.
But there are a few caveats to keep in mind, they say. So one, those tests that we're referring to were from the mid-'80s and early '90s. So newer medications may not have been tested yet in this way.
Okay.
Only about 100 types of drugs were tested. So, and some of them were like things that people who are not in the military probably wouldn't be using so much. Like, antidotes for chemical poisoning or antibiotics for malaria. And some drugs did fail the stability test. So liquid antibiotics.
I don't think any antibiotics.
Yeah, antibiotics, aspirin, nitroglycerin, and insulin have found signs of physical decay.
Okay.
So not best to use them past expiration dates.
Physical decay.
Yeah.
Pills themselves.
But if like
Yeah.
the pills cracked.
Yeah, and then, EpiPens also held up poorly past their expiration dates. This doesn't seem harmful, though. It's probably just, we're saying, not as effective. Yeah, so one, it kind of depends how serious the medication is or what you're trying to fix. You can probably take an allergy medication a month past its expiration date, but a heart rhythm medication is going to be riskier.
Yes.
So you want to make
Something
sure that
that's
one's
like
fresh
real.
and gonna
Yeah.
help you.
So pretty much like the over-the-counter stuff that's not going to be life or death.
Yeah, so
Aspirin, Gas X, that kind
Yeah,
of
if you're
stuff.
not getting a prescription for
yeah,
it,
something like that,
probably
you're
fine,
more,
yeah. It might not do the trick that you need it to do, but it's not going to hurt.
This also says that generally they keep the expiration dates on the more conservative side exactly for this reason, which makes sense and I agree with as a practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and drug makers say that extensive testing for drug stability over prolonged periods of times would be ideal, but it's too expensive. And also in this study, the military study found that by keeping these expired medicines, it saved about $260 million.
From the 1 billion.
So it's pretty significant.
Yeah. It showed that there was a lot of useful, there were a lot of medicine that was still useful.
So basically, expiration dates in the U.S. after a law in 1979, drug manufacturers have to stamp an expiration date on their products. So that's like where they can guarantee full potency and safety. It's not necessarily means it's going to not work after that. So, which makes sense. It's just like a regulation. So it's true that effectiveness of a drug may decrease over time, but much of the original potency still remains even a decade after the expiration date. Placing a medication in a cool place, such as a refrigerator, will help the drug remain potent for many years.
That's a good question
Or
from
anywhere
the
cool.
previous question. I also put my like Dayquil and stuff in the fridge. Do you guys?
No.
You keep it outside in the closet?
Yeah.
I'm really only getting that when I have, once again, I don't really take that stuff. So when
So you always just have it in the fridge.
Not for any real reason, but that's what
how
my...
often you taking Dayquil?
I mean, only when I get sick, but like it
Okay.
lasts for a
But
while.
during that period, you're keeping
Yeah,
it
it's
in the fridge.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't keep it in the fridge.
Yeah,
You
I've
getting
thought about
liquid? Kind?
Oh, yeah. I still fuck with the
It's
liquid
like for
kind.
babies.
Actually, they have one for babies, and it says for babies
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
and
I
I,
know, 'cause
I
you
get
buy
the
that
liquid
one, yeah.
one
For
for
adults,
adults.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you not swallow pills? Or
No,
you
I
just prefer
can't.
you just prefer that?
When I'm like out, like back when we used to work in an office every day, I would bring pills with me. If I'm at home, I like a little something to sip on is nice, you know.
Yeah, just a little
Pour it over
dirty
some
Put
black-
your scissor.
Put up some
Yeah.
ice. All right. After the break, we're going to answer some questions about sneezing behaviors, the 24-hour day, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We'll be right back.
All right. Next up. Hi. Have y'all ever argued about why some people sneeze loudly? Is it a learned behavior? Maybe to mimic a parent, or get attention, or clear nasal passages more comfortably or effectively? Or is it biological? Maybe based on lung size, or muscular strength, or age? Can a loud or soft sneezer become soft or loud, respectively? Or is the dynamic range of sneezes actually small, and its variations in hearing sensitivity that we should be arguing over? Please get to the bottom of this. My doctor has stopped answering my calls.
Can I just say real quick, I love our listeners because we get the funniest fucking questions I've ever heard in my
This is a
life.
very thorough
The behavioral
question,
science
yeah.
of sneeze loudness.
So, well, first of all, how would you all describe your individual sneeze styles?
I'm pretty controlled, I think.
Yeah, I try to keep it on the covers.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
And that's same at home.
yeah. But, I'm sure we all have, the classic, the dad,
Mhm.
loud
Oh
as
my
hell,
God.
shaking the frames on the wall
Yeah.
kind of sneeze.
Oh yeah.
So my dad, one of the loudest
Yeah.
sneezers I've
My
ever
dad
had
out
in my
here
life.
around the house. Yeah.
My dad had really bad allergies too,
Mm.
and his sneeze was so loud, like the cat would run.
Okay, so it's thunderous.
Was there
yeah.
a wind up?
Oh yeah, that-
Yeah.
Then you know.
And then and then there's usually a couple in a row.
Yeah, that's my other question.
And then
is-
there's some
yeah.
afterwards. It's like, are you dying? What is
I need to
happening?
see-
Yeah.
My follow-up bonus question is why do sneezes come in multiples? Because there's some people who always
They
Yes.
do 3.
and
yeah.
even if it's not a loud sneeze, it'll be like always doing 3 or more
Yeah.
in a string.
Oh
I don't
my
really
God.
have. I'll have maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I do pretty loud ones. I'll say.
Okay.
Well, I can control it here. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm home,
Yeah.
I'm
You let
letting it
letting
rip.
it
I
rip.
will say, when I do let a loud one off, it feels good.
Yeah, it's like I'm not holding back.
You know, you
And
let
like,
it go for
yeah.
real, because sometimes you try to do the little,
Yeah,
and then you got
Yeah.
it's still in there.
it's like when
Oh,
or
I
it's
won't
like
plug
yeah.
but myself up.
Yeah.
But
no,
I'll just be
but
like
you know, you try to keep
Yeah.
a little, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's not
doesn't
not
come-
satisfying. It's
yeah.
like when you try to stifle a cough. Or
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yes.
that's like the worst feeling in the world.
Oh
when
my
you,
God.
you have to cough in the movies or something.
Yeah.
You're like, and then you let it go, but then it's still there. Or something,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's like
still
oh,
in your throat.
I have to go to the
You
hallway
have to leave,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to do it.
You try to let it out in little
Yeah.
increments.
Or then I'll try like okay, maybe I'll chew some gum or something. Like
Yeah,
get something
clear
else
the
moving in
passageways.
here. Maybe I can
Wait, you're like
divert
waiting
it.
for the loud scene of the movie to come.
I
Yeah, yeah.
literally like okay, there's a car crash coming up. Lessen that, but
It's a great question because, if it were behavioral, you would think that you would have a similar sneeze to your parents, but that's not the case for me.
No, well, it's almost behavioral in the opposite way. That you've witnessed.
you know the
You
damage
witnessed-
it can do to a family.
Yeah, you've seen the loud sneeze, and now you don't want to repeat that.
Yes.
that
Break the
trauma to your
cycles.
children.
The cycle ends here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But that means your kid's gonna be like, I hate how my dad always
Yeah.
quiet
sneezes so
ass
quiet.
sneezing.
Let it
little-
out.
this is how you sneeze. It's like
So-
a kind of an edible thing. you
Yeah,
know?
it's how real men sneezes.
Yeah, watch this. Well, luckily for us, our friends at Popular Science magazine
Someone's done
have
something
answered
on this.
this. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
They did separate articles for both of those questions. So
Okay.
why do people sneeze so loud and the multiples? I was like, wow, all in one.
I'm really
one spot.
fascinated by the multiples. I know someone who always goes, choo, choo,
Mhm,
choo, and that's it.
3 in a row?
Until the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is from Dr. Takashima from the Department of Otolaryngology,
Wow. What
Head
the
and
hell
Neck
is
and
that?
Surgery at Houston Methodist Academic Institute. This is a quote from Popular Science,
Yes.
not the
Quoting
doctor.
him.
Inside our nose is a tight mesh of epithelial cells, tiny hairs, and thick mucus. These elements, quotes, trap particulates so that the lungs can be protected. When those build up, they need to be flushed out.
Okay.
So tiny hairs, that makes sense. Tiny hairs, mucus, whatever, all this
Builds
stuff.
up.
Yeah,
They don't want that stuff in the lungs.
yeah. So it needs to be flushed out, and your body knows this.
So it gets triggered somehow. Like enough piles up so that
Yeah,
your brain
body's
is
like, this is
get
like
it out.
Osmosis Jones shit. Right?
Yeah, it
Yes,
really is.
I do think there was a scene.
I think there was
yeah,
a sneeze.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bill Murray sneezes. doesn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
And everyone
Yeah.
flies out.
Yeah.
Hit all the pressure valves. They're about to blow the scene.
Great movie.
Yeah, we should watch that. The key to sneezing volume lies in the structure of our respiratory system. The first step of the sneeze reflex involves deep inhalation. You need that air to be able to expel everything out. While air is sucked into our lungs, our vocal cords close tightly. Once enough pressure has built up in our lungs, all the air is expelled. It's that gush of air that's pushing through the vocal cords that creates the sound of the sneeze. The shape and floppiness of our vocal cords and other soft tissue at the back of the throat influence whether or not we have a quiet or booming sneeze. Lung volume also determines how much air enters and leaves our chest during a sneeze, meaning no single physical measurement will predict sneeze volume.
So it's a combination of these.
So
Wow.
vocal cords, other tissue,
Lung volume.
lung volume. Some people with big lung volumes have very petite sneezes. So this article also has how to sneeze quietly. Takashima points out that in Japan, there's a heavy cultural emphasis on not inconveniencing others and people manage to suppress their sneezes. So this is what the question asker was asking too about, is it, kind of a cultural or learned behavior?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So the key here is to minimize the amount of resonant energy flowing through your oral cavity, closing your mouth. This will reduce the volume of your sneeze.
Doesn't feel as good though.
No, hold on. A look at the medical literature suggests that sneeze suppression may be a surprisingly bad idea.
Oh, for sure.
You ever try to hold in a
Yeah.
sneeze and then it feels
also
like your whole body's
the
a little
classic things,
fucked up?
your eyes are gonna you're gonna
Yeah.
pop out your
Yeah,
eyes
you
or
pop
burst
your
the
eye.
blood.
Now my eyes are popped
Yeah.
out my head.
Yeah,
'Cause you want me to be
bloodshot eyes,
quiet.
they're out of my head. Do you want to be blind or do you want to sneeze?
I don't know that if anybody's sneezing as hard as they can into their elbow, it's gonna be that loud.
No,
Yeah.
let me practice.
Yeah. Like it.
That was
That's
about
not
on,
bad.
No.
Yeah, it's not that loud.
No.
Like
It's
we
like
can check the
fine.
decibels
It's like,
on
oh,
this,
someone
but yeah.
sneezed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been peeking on there.
Yeah, like you're gonna. I'm gonna
Yeah, how
hear
many
it.
decibels
Yeah.
is that?
If you're trying to sneeze in a way that people
Yeah.
don't know you're sneezing, not gonna do that.
No,
yeah,
no,
you're not really
But my
concealing.
cat, the cat's not gonna be running
it's
around
fine.
the
Yes,
house. on
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Or the cat needs to toughen up,
that.
frankly. All right. So that answers the main basis.
Yeah,
But
why
let's get
we
the bonus
sneeze,
about
what-
the multiples.
Yeah,
Why does
we
that
don't
happen?
want
Because
to-
that's stranger to
That's
me.
weird. You can't get it out in one go.
So it has to do with the power behind your nose's blows.
if you got a weak ass nose, you gotta do
yeah.
more.
You need to work that out. It's funny. They talked to all different people for this article.
Yeah.
This is still popular science.
Yep. So basically, if the irritant is still lingering after a sneeze, your nose is going to give it another go. So typically, a second sneeze means that your first sneeze didn't do its job.
Yes.
As for the mega sneezer, the person who always seems to sneeze 15 times in a row, it may mean his or her sneezes just don't pack the same punch as yours. Depending on how her nerves are hardwired, it may mean her sneezes are not as forceful to expel whatever is irritating her. If that's the case, try to rub your nose or plug your nose. That way you can manually remove the allergen.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You do some work, help it out.
Of course, a foreign irritant may not be triggering your sneeze at all. For about 18 to 20% of the population, staring at bright lights can cause uncontrollable sneezing.
What the hell?
It's a genetic condition called a photic sneeze reflex, PHOTIC, and its mechanisms aren't very well understood. Some researchers believe that rapid pupil constriction may trigger the nerves related to sneezing, but no one knows for sure.
Oh, because your
So-
eyes
yeah.
do that when you're allergic to something.
So if you seem to be sneezing over and over while enjoying the great outdoors, maybe avert your gaze from the sun for a little while. That's a cliffhanger to end on.
They're
18 to
watching
20% of the...
That's a
almost
lot.
someone in this room.
Which one of us?
I stare at lights all the time. It doesn't really
Hold on, yeah,
trigger
why
a
don't we do it right
sneeze.
now?
Yeah, they gotta start putting
I mean,
some of those warnings.
It's obviously in my head now, but I feel a little bit more tension in my sinuses.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sneeze, but I see it.
Feeling some
I see the
irritants.
vision.
Yeah.
Next time I have to sneeze, I'm going to try to make it as loud as possible. I don't think I've ever really tried to be.
Yeah, just let
tried
it
to have a
go.
It's
loud
like a primal scream.
Yeah.
It might feel good.
one. All right, what's next?
This is a real kind of bong rip sort of one. From Blake. Why are there 24 hours in a day? That's all he said. Any ideas?
Well, I mean, just like I guess the basic necessity of like measuring. I don't know why they landed on 24. You would think it'd be something shorter. I don't know.
Well,
I
you
might
just
do,
say there's 12 hours, but the hours are 2 hours long, or something
yeah,
like that.
maybe, yeah. That's where, yeah, I would do a longer segment.
Do you think?
I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the 24 hours.
We know what a day is.
Yes, is a day.
But that's one day.
But why did they
Can you
break it
explain
up?
what a day is?
A day is when the sun goes around.
Yep. and we're stationary.
Yeah, because the sun revolves around us.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's true.
And we're flat. We're flat.
Yeah.
A flat Earth.
So as soon as the sun
The
comes,
sun comes.
over,
Yeah. And then at night it's underneath us.
It's under
Right.
this. No,
It's in, over China.
the
yeah.
sun went to sleep.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's in
It's
bed.
the man. Yeah.
So it's one cycle. No, it's one rotation.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Okay,
seriously.
seriously, guys.
Let's not joke about this. Because a lot of
This
people,
is serious.
a lot
Not
of
in
people,
2026.
you know,
Yeah. Let's
we're
clear
not
the
bringing
air.
that flat Earth shit into the media.
Yeah. Enough.
So
One
20
rotation of the Earth.
Yeah, one rotation of the Earth. The sun is not rotating. We're
Yeah.
revolving around. That's a year. It's one revolution around the sun.
That's right.
Right.
So one day is one revolution
Yeah.
of the Earth.
So we all agree on that.
Yes.
Now,
Now, how do you break that up? What's the best idea?
That's where we get into the specifics here.
Yeah, I mean
Why
that's a great
24
question. It makes me think
hours?
it's religious.
Why 60 minutes?
Right.
Like the 12 hours. I don't know. It feels like
Why does that number come from somewhere? Yeah.
great question.
Well, luckily, our friends at ABC Science, I believe this is the Australian Broadcasting Company.
Yeah, and
So they're real.
the different ABC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My guess is 24 or 12 like has to do with some kind of religious thing, some ancient religious thing.
Let's see what ABC Science has to say. It always goes back to them.
What are you about to say? It's always them.
Yeah.
This
The
is
blacks.
this is from Dr. Nick Loam, consultant curator of astronomy from the Sydney Observatory. All right, I trust observatories. Our 24-hour day comes from the ancient Egyptians,
Who
divided
it is always
daytime-
them.
who divided daytime into 10 hours. They measured with devices such as shadow clocks
Yeah.
and added a twilight hour at the beginning and another one at the end of the day time.
Oh, so that makes
So they started with 10 and then kind of added on
An hour, so it's
to
12.
fill in for kind of nighttime.
wow.
And then,
because 10 is a natural number.
yeah. Yeah, that
Like I guess
just
they all
seems
are,
right,
but
yeah.
it just feels like you
Yeah.
know.
Nighttime was divided into 12 hours based on observations of stars.
Okay.
So there we have 10 hours during the day
Yeah.
plus 2 more,
Hour in the
and
front,
then
hour in the
12
back.
for night, pure night when you're looking at the stars. Egyptians had a system of 36 star groups called decans, Decans, maybe decans,
Deacons.
chosen so that on any night, one decan rose 40 minutes after the previous one. Wow.
These guys were nuts.
Yeah. Tables, I guess they didn't have anything else to do. Tables were produced to help people to
No
determine.
TikTok back then.
Yeah, it's like oversee some pyramids being built or figure out the time.
This is
Look
what
up-
I would be doing if China wasn't keeping me on TikTok.
You'd be
Yeah.
building.
You'd be coming up with whole new ways to count time. Forget the
One
decans,
rat.
it would be the divans.
Yeah, there's one rat. Every time this rat passes, that's about 4 hours.
I like that. Tables were produced to help people to determine time at night by observing them. Amazingly, such tables have been found inside the lids of coffins, presumably so that the dead could also tell the time.
Wow.
That's nice.
All right.
Nice of them to put that in the coffin.
In the Egyptian system, the length of the daytime and
He's
nighttime
in there
hours.
like, I don't know what time it is. You're dead.
I got plans.
You did. The length of the daytime and nighttime hours were unequal and varied with the seasons.
Oh.
So it kind of adjusted
So
based
it
on
would
everything
adjust.
else.
Of course.
So in summer, daytime hours were longer than nighttime hours, while in the winter, it was flipped. Ancient Babylonians broke everything up into 60 for hours and minutes. They just like the base number 60, it seems like. So subdivision of hours and then 60 minutes per hour. So kind of then just
Kind of calibrating to what they already
like
knew
breaking,
from the
breaking
Egyptians.
those hours further, basically,
Yeah.
which is probably when it got a little bit more standardized.
That's now see we got we have 12 hours.
That's
Who
why-
the hell
that's-
said 60 minutes was? Why isn't it like 100 minutes?
So we got 360 degrees in a circle from the Babylonians.
Oh wow.
They just liked 60.
Mm-hmm.
Babylonians were interested in 360 because that was their estimate for the number of days in a year.
Oh damn, they're
Pretty
pretty
close.
close.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't have ChatGPT to be asking either.
to get it
That would
wrong.
be wrong, yeah.
yeah.
I bet if you asked ChatGPT, they'd be like, yeah, there's 360 days.
Close enough.
36 days.
That's impressive that you already knew that. But was it the case that the Egyptians kind of came up with the framework?
Of time.
Yeah, it seems like
So before that, they were just, I mean, I'm sure there were little ways to measure here and there, but they were mostly just
Probably
vibing out.
day and night.
Yeah, I think generally it was that, and then slowly it kind of
Add more
evolved into
structure to
this
it.
where, okay. And then I'm sure once there's a international order, there's more consensus for, we have to have the same time if you're
Yeah.
traveling this way.
Yep.
All right, but I think that about answers it. Where,
Well, it makes sense that like, all right, you want to count the hours in a day, like
Mhm.
before the sun goes away.
yeah.
And back then, you're like, okay, I have 10 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're gonna count this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just started amending it from
Yeah,
there.
then they're like, all right, well, we need to figure this out because the stars are doing this, so
Yeah.
we got 2 extra hours. So 12 and 12. All right.
They've
I
been
liked
doing
it. They're
some
smart.
amazing stuff. One of my favorite.
Circumcision too.
I used to watch all of those ancient aliens shows
yeah,
on
course.
History or whatever,
Yeah.
and the big takeaway at the end of every episode is like, how did the Egyptians know that the Earth was blue? Like they have some of these hieroglyphs.
Oh, and they're like painted.
This kind of has
colored.
nothing to do with time, but
We don't give just because.
it's like, look, there's a big ass blue
It's a shame.
body of water.
It's a
They
shame
probably,
that we don't really give them their flowers.
No, we don't.
it's
at
always
all.
aliens.
Yeah, we can't. They
can't
couldn't
even admit
possibly
it.
be smart back then. There were a
Right.
bunch of idiots running around. They
Yeah.
couldn't build parents. They couldn't have any ideas.
Because if they were so smart back then, it must mean that we're not that smart, and that's
Well,
why we
and
have to
it's
be
just
like, actually, they had help.
And it just
Yeah.
it's also just like Egypt isn't that powerful of a nation now, so I don't think there's international
Yeah.
a push to do it. Whereas if this was, if this happened in the United States,
Yeah.
you'd never forget we made
Oh
that.
my God.
You know,
We wouldn't shut up about
you
it.
know, other places too, but
Yeah.
Just put some
justice
respect
for,
on
justice for Egypt.
the
Even the
Egyptians.
Mayans, they got incredible astronomy
Yeah.
innovations. We
Ahead
just
of their
can't.
time.
But we just can't be
Truly.
like, wow, they were so smart.
We had to say no. That was some alien stuff.
Well, you know who we are going to give flowers to? The Egyptians for coming up with the 24-hour clock.
Thank you.
Thank you, Egyptians.
All right, that was good.
Thank you,
Egyptians. A salute to Egyptians.
All right, our final question comes from Kaylee.
Hi, Manny, Noah, Devin, and the No Such Thing team. My name is Kaylee, and my boyfriend was at a bar, and the bartender suggested that he do a peanut butter tequila shot, and the suggested chaser was some sort of like fruity seltzer thing. He doesn't remember the exact flavor. But he then begins to complain to some friends that the chaser was not grape flavored because then it would have been like a peanut butter and jelly shot and chaser. He then proceeds to get in an argument with a stranger, with a woman about what is the proper flavor of jelly to use in a peanut butter and jelly. She believed it was strawberry, and he believes it's grape. So we want to know your opinion. What is the default jelly to put on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Is it grape? Is it strawberry? Or is it like a third flavor? Thank you so much for answering my question. Big fan of the show. Have a good one.
Thanks, Kaylee.
This is a really
So a
good
few
one.
things going on here.
Yeah.
I guess first let's answer it.
Yeah.
Let's go
my
around.
take would be that I prefer the jelly to be strawberry, but I also acknowledge that grape is the traditional
Yeah,
peanut butter and jelly
that's
flavor.
how I mean. I probably prefer grape still in most cases, but yeah, I think you can have your own preference for what jelly you want. But
Yeah.
the default is grape.
It's grape. It's
Devin,
See, this is tough for me because I'm not a peanut butter and jelly guy. I'm just a peanut butter guy.
yeah,
So I didn't really have peanut butter and jelly almost ever.
preconception of this.
so you're a
No.
good person to
But in
ask.
a
So I'm trying to
cartoon,
think back to-
picture a cartoon.
I-
Yeah,
so
what-
I'm
that's,
color?
that's my default.
Let me say this: peanut butter and jelly was consumed in my home. All right, so there
Okay.
was.
Been around it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture. I'm now trying to transport
Go
myself
take yourself back.
back to my
You're a little
childhood.
boy,
I'm
yeah.
opening the fridge.
The inner child.
I'm looking at the side.
This is what therapies look.
Yeah, this is what you do. They tell you close your eyes and imagine.
Make a sandwich.
And I'm seeing my mom make a peanut butter.
And you have no idea
I
what-
said, don't put jelly on mine. Don't jelly on
So
mine.
would you just have peanut butter?
Just peanut butter
Yeah.
sandwich.
On bread?
Yeah.
Isn't that hard to eat?
It's just so dry.
I guess if your peanut butter's more organic, it's a little.
It was not.
Not
it
at
was,
the
it was
time.
back in the
They didn't
day.
invent it though.
It's the most processed shit you get.
Yeah. It's-
Probably
yeah.
no
Skippy
peanuts in
here.
that peanut butter.
You like can't even open your mouth.
Yeah.
So I in my mind, it was a grape jelly.
Okay.
It was a more purple.
Yeah. Welch's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess I just imagine, like you were saying, Noah, in a cartoon, the grape color
Yes.
is.
Remember the thing with the
purple.
otters?
Yeah,
What was
yeah, I
that
remember
show with that-
Yeah, their names were
The
PB
otters.
and J.
PB&J
right?
otter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There isn't one of them purple or something.
I actually don't know.
I don't remember what color
That-
they were.
that is vaguely-
I don't see colors,
yeah.
so I don't know what color they were.
Oh yeah.
I don't see color.
Wow.
PB&J Otter. I remember that show. That was a good show.
Was that
Yeah.
their names?
It's on Disney.
One was PB and one
PB
was
and
J.
one was J, right?
I guess I'm curious because it seemed to be such a debate at that bar from the questioner, at least, that like, where does this idea that strawberry is the default
I have to
even come
imagine.
from?
My guess is they grew up and that was just what
Yeah.
their parents made for them.
Had to be.
But were these people living under a rock?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, do this.
Turn
Let's
on
do
the
this.
TV.
Look up who invented the PB&J.
Here, National Peanut Board has a article about who invented the PB&J
Okay.
sandwich. In the case of the quintessential American PB&J sandwich, the most important person in this part of the story is a man named Paul Welch. We know his work.
I'm very
Listen
familiar.
to this. In 1917, Welch secured a patent for pureeing grapes and turning them into jelly. He developed and advertised Grape-a-lade, rhymes with
Marmalade.
Grape-a-lade,
marmalade,
okay.
marmalade,
Grape Malade.
Late, yeah.
from Concord grapes. It was popular with the troops in World War One. So it was popular to spread Grape-a-lade on bread when the soldiers came home after the war.
Wow.
Finally, there's peanut butter. We know Dr. George Washington Carver invented that.
That's right.
A black man.
Yeah.
That's right. As Grape-a-lade and pre-sliced bread became popular, another breakthrough happened with peanut butter. Commercial brands found a way to create creamier peanut butter that didn't stick to the roof of the mouth so easily. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, families discovered peanut butter provided a satisfying, high-protein, less expensive meal. Okay, World War II is the major event that took peanut butter and jelly sandwiches over the top.
Okay. This is so
They were
much
on the U.S. military ration menus in World War II. Peanut butter was a high-protein, shelf-stable ingredient and easily portable on long marches. Grape-a-lade had already accompanied soldiers in the First World War and added a sweetness to the sandwich. Pre-sliced bread was so easy to use, so the natural inclination was to combine these three things, and PB&J was part of the American soldier's life.
Wow.
And then those guys came home from the war, kids loved it, parents loved it, and the rest is history. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to say the default then is the Grape-a-lade or grape jelly
Yeah.
variant.
Yeah. And I think, dear listener, if you ever hear someone saying strawberry is the default, you have to tell them that there's absolutely zero evidence to back that up.
They're lying.
Now, I like
It's fine, of
strawberry
course.
more than grape for my PB&Js, or if I'm just having like a piece of toast. But I would never say that was the traditional, original recipe.
I like raspberry preserves.
Oh,
you
you
know.
like preserves?
I guess I don't know. I don't get in the weeds like that, but I like the little bon mama.
As a sort of final word on this, I
Okay.
just opened up Wikipedia. I command F'd strawberry. Zero.
PB&J?
Zero.
How about grape?
PB&J
I bet
entry
if you search grape,
on
you get
Wikipedia.
a few hits.
There are.
Consider this one
Not even
settled.
mentioned once on the
That's actually
PB&J.
crazy. It doesn't even have a line like
No.
some people like this.
Not even a hint of
Wow.
there's another
That's actually
option here.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
Nothing in the pop culture references section of strawberry?
Nope.
Damn.
It's like it doesn't even exist.
Not
All
even
right,
real.
well that really
That
seals
settles it.
Final word.
Thanks for listening to No Such Thing, which is a production of Kaleidoscope Content. Our executive producers are Kate Osborne and Mangesh Hatikadur. The show was created by Manny Fidel, Noah Friedman, and Devin Joseph. The theme and credit songs are by me, Manny. This episode was mixed by Pran Bandy. Thank you to everyone who sent their mailbag questions in. We didn't get to all of them, but we hope to get to more of them in a future mailbag. And please keep sending these questions in by either emailing us at mannynoahdevin@gmail.com or by calling the number in the show notes and leaving a voicemail. That only works if you're in the US. And if you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this. See you next week.
Such thing.